Oh, doing okay. Doing okay. Just had to get some cleaning done for mama and then so I can race guilt free here tonight. Hang on just a second, Mike. As far as the cup goes, because I guess you're just not gonna have any audio on this darn thing. I don't know why, but until we get that figured out. But as far as the cup race goes, where were we? I forget where we even were. Oh, Sonoma, that's right. Well, I struggled. It was it was fun. So I turned some laps. I had a few little hiccups on Sonoma. I didn't put in near enough practice during that week, busy week. But yeah, those cars are a lot more different than the trucks. I'll tell you that. The trucks I feel pretty comfortable with on Sonoma and did really well last season. Um, it wasn't so bad going in with cups because I actually knew the track. Because learning the track is the hardest part. Then, but then learning these cars is a little different. So especially with that extra gear. Tucker, I think Tucker. Yeah, Tucker. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's pause this, give us a few minutes. There's no sense going on if we can't hear the lead guy here. So let's just pause this, get a little break. We'll see if we can't figure this out, guys, and we will be back. My desktop audio is not moving when you talk, which is weird. Desktop, lock volume. But when I play like a sound bit, can you play a sound bit for me? At the very bottom where you go turn your camera on, over there to the right says open soundboard. Oh shit. Hang on, it is not capturing my desktop audio for some reason. Let's see, how do I fix that? Settings, audio, desktop audio, device not connected or available. There it is. Speakers, high definition audio. All right, go ahead and wait. Hang on, apply.
Speakers are high definition.
There it is. There it is. All right, are we ready? Let
Yeah,
me
round 2.
keep this. Okay, we should be good. Everything's unchecked, and hopefully we'll be good.
Yeah, think we're good to go.
I think so. Guess we'll find out here. Yep.
Yeah, we
Yep.
got
There we go.
confirmation.
All
All
right.
right. Well, take 2. All right. Welcome back in, everybody, to the HVRL Seasons podcast. I'm Mike Fell, driver of the number 9 Chevrolet in the truck series, joined by Mr. Sean Happy Happick over there, driver of the number 50 Deuce in the truck series as well. You drive a Ford, though, don't you?
No, Toyota. I drive a Ford just on the road courses for my Spidey.
Oh, see, I was trying to give you more credit.
No, don't.
But you're driving a Yoda.
Don't.
I actually have Yoda socks on, so I won't give you too much crap right now.
I'm
Anyway,
a Chevy guy. I just switched this season because Bloodworth he was driving Toyota, or Andre was, or whatever. So I just switched to Toyota. But I'm a bow tie through and through. Don't worry.
I was like, wait, hold on. You're a bow tie, but you drive a Toyota, except for road courses, you drive Fords.
I had to do a different paint, and I had it set up with my F1 wheel or my GT3 wheel. And then if you change the settings, you have to rechange the settings if you're in your Toyota. I didn't want to mess with changing my steering wheel buttons and all that. So that's the only reason the Ford gets any play. So yeah,
You know
yeah.
what that is? World's smallest
Yeah,
violin
yeah,
playing
yeah.
Crimea River.
You get to the Cup Series. They already heard my take on the Cup Series there. They didn't hear anything you were saying though. So, did you get a chance to watch it or anything? Or
I got to see, I think, the first like 5 laps, and then I had to go back to work. So I didn't get to finish that. That's when I usually get to watch most of my broadcasting is in the mornings when I'm in the office. But according to the results that I see, it went about the way that Chris and Matt Chase and myself kind of predicted. We all picked Bryce to win, and seems like he did take care of business out there. Since I've been racing with Bryce, which has been for a minute now, we both got into iRacing at the same time, which is kind of sad to say because he's significantly better than I am. But don't tell him I said that to anybody. But he's always loved Sonoma. That's a track he's always talked about. So nothing out of the ordinary, I guess I would say. Kind of seemed like he took care of business. Let's see, Bryce finished first, started first. And let's see here. I was looking at the standings. We had Jose Mercado in second. Mangrum finished third. Hawk in fourth. And Mike Marini rounded out the top 5. You yourself were in it, though, bud. I know you talked about it so they couldn't hear me, but did, for road course going, I know you said you didn't get as much seat time in as you probably should have for it because we all know how we all prepared so much for the Kansas road course and the truck series. But, when it comes to road coursing, how'd you feel? Was it just such a drastic difference between the truck and the cup car? Or just such a big
yeah,
difference between
no,
Sonoma and there?
that whole extra gear throws me off. For one, it takes a while. You race Xfinity with 4 gears, a truck with 4 gears. I believe even the Gen 6 has 4 gears, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so you're just so that cup kind of kind of gets you down. Do you shift down twice? Do you do one? You really have to downshift to slow down the car in a cup. Um, and you can do it really early. You can downshift at a lot higher RPMs than I feel like you can in the trucks. But I would say the bias, man. I kept messing around with the bias, and I was either locking it up on the front and couldn't turn, or I was putting it too much on the rear and I'd spin out. So it was just hard to find a balance. But I was turning okay laps. I just wasn't. I had a couple mistakes that really put me behind the eight ball. So, but all in all, it was fun. Those 55 laps actually didn't seem as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Well, that's good. You still pulled out a top 10 with it, though. So that's always nice.
I'll take it.
Absolutely. And then with the season standings, Bryce is still on top. Mangrum is still in second. Kevin Fry is still in third. Joe Hudson is still in fourth. Mike Marini is still in fifth. Mercado did move up one spot into sixth. Yourself exchange spots with him as far as I can tell there. Moved down to seven. You got Hanneman just behind you. He moved up three spots this week into the eighth spot. Bryce Tucker took a step down. He's now in ninth, and up four spots into the 10th position is Eugene Hawk. That's a heck of a week for Hawk there to jump up four spots. Good for him.
Yeah, I don't think Colton. He didn't do but a couple laps. Kern went out early, and can't remember if Thomason made it or not. I know he has an injury to his hand. I think he broke his hand, has it in a splinter cast,
Ouch.
and I don't think Hunter Young made it either.
Yeah,
So,
neither of them made the race. Yeah, I saw Kern ended up 54 laps down, and Colton finished 34 laps down with Gross. And then Bryce Tucker was 30 laps down, so it seems like some unfortunate circumstances for some heavy hitters down there.
oh yeah, but it's been good so far. We have Dover coming up this week or tonight, so that should be fun. I believe it's Dover again. I guess you can
It,
tell how much practice I put in, but that's what
yep,
7:30 to that's what 7:30 is for that practice. So I'll try to put as many laps as I can in. I mean, I feel pretty comfortable with Dover, but again, in these cars, it's like relearning everything over again.
right. Yeah, how you feeling about Dover?
Good. I mean, I like Dover a little bit more since I guess I got my first win there. So,
Right,
other
that's
than that,
kind of gives you confidence.
I was so with Dover. I mean, it's a decent track. I don't love it, don't hate it, but I guess I like it more now.
I will give you a heads up. If somebody brake checks in front of you, be careful how much you lift off.
Well, yeah, I don't. I'm responsible and know it's my responsibility
So yeah,
to let
all
off when
right.
you're following someone.
Yeah, I just tapped the brakes and it didn't like that. Anyway,
There's no brake
yeah,
check. I let off to go in the corner. I didn't even hit the brakes.
you let off way more than you had the previous couple laps. Anyway, we're gonna move right along then. I'm gonna be bitter about that one for a long time. I'm petty,
You
but
are.
hold on to grudges. But yep, it is at Dover, and so as long as I said I've been racing with Bryce, I actually got to have lunch with him and Chris today since we all live near each other. So finally got together, and I know he's pretty optimistic about Dover as well. So it's should be an action packed one. How many do we have registered for this evening? Is the question with Dover.
That is a good question.
Let's see here. I am seeing 14 registered for the race this evening. And Denny Gross is currently tentative. So yeah, that should be a pretty good turnout. I'm rather excited to watch see this one. It'll be 200 laps. Stages at 50 and 100.
Don't watch it. Get
Nice.
up in there and broadcast.
I will see what I can do. Remember how well nobody else got to hear. We were talking about things you got to do to get permission to race when we're supposed to race.
They should have done it. You got to
Mama
pre-plan.
wasn't.
You got to strike ahead.
Well, this one was unexpected. Mama wasn't feeling good. She ended up calling out of work today. So
Ah,
yeah, when she's under the weather, I gotta step on extra eggshells just to make sure I don't end up on the wrong side. If you know what I mean.
I do. I do.
But if I can get a blessing without the "if that's what you want to do" statement, then we'll see if I can join. Moving right along though, yet to another road course, Xfinity Series was at the Glen.
It was at the Glen. Bryce got that one. I missed that one. Um, so I think there's quite a few that missed that. So we only had like 7 or so there, I
Seven,
think.
yeah.
So, and I think Bryce got that one as well. So,
Shocker, Bryce went on a road course. Who
yeah,
saw that
right.
coming?
I didn't see. I watched like the first handful of laps, like you did with the Cup. So I didn't really get to see how it all played out.
Yeah, I didn't get to see any of that one. I see Kevin Fry finished second. Sean Wilder finished third. Ray Hanneman finished fourth. And top five finished with Anthony Hall. Then we had Nava in sixth and Mason Tomlinson in seventh. And he said he's the one who broke his hand? That's, man.
That's pretty
Did it
good.
happen
He's in
before
the
that one?
cuss, huh? Yeah.
Did he raise? Oh,
Yeah, that's probably why he was last, I'm sure. But he was still there getting points. It looks like he probably. Oh yeah, he disconnected. Looks like he got in a little bit of an issue.
couldn't imagine driving at the Glen with a broken hand.
Yeah, I think all the road courses are a little rough. Let me pull up the standings. Ain't gonna help. So let me pull up the playoff outlook. Probably be better.
Yeah. Let's see, and then coming up next as well, while you get that going. So the chase format is starting. This is
I
season.
have not. I have not updated that.
Yeah, so just look ahead and see it either. But moving on with them, their next round or next race in the round is going to be Bristol. And that, oh, there you go. Now you got it.
It's not updated. That's
Oh,
last
that's,
week's. No, we have Bryce leading the way with Anthony Hall now in second, Mason Thompson in third, Sean Wilder in fourth, Jose Mercado in fifth, Kern in sixth, then just some guys that haven't been showing up like Millett, Cornwell, and Post. So
yeah,
then we're gonna knock it down to 8. So the final 4 should be fun if we go that long. It should be pretty interesting to watch those final
all
4
right.
go at it.
Very true. Well, since their next race is at Bristol, uh, should be rather interesting. I know Bryce was saying he was getting a little tired of Bristol. I guess he had ran what he said, a 200 lapper and then a 250 lapper
Yeah.
back to back. So now
Yeah, I
got
think in this
another
other league he ran one, and then a couple days later we did our cup one, and then now here we are at
another
the truck.
160
Well,
laps to go.
yeah, and then he had to broadcast the truck one, and then he had
That's
to
true.
now he's got to race this Xfinity one. But speaking of the truck one, let's get into that, I
Yeah,
guess.
let's do it. So that's a good segue going back to Bristol with the truck series. Uh, I think both of us didn't have the day we were looking for. I
I,
know.
I was happy where I finished. I just got
Yeah, you
to
ended up finishing great for getting. What you get spun around twice?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
into
just
it pretty good. I was able to do some strategy to
take
I
Chris out.
just
Yeah,
yeah, well, that wasn't part of the strategy. That was just
sure.
sometimes good things just work out. But
Uh huh.
but uh, I think I stayed out on stage 2. Which I think got me the
Hmm.
lead. I was only on 10-lap older tires because
Yeah.
I pit there. We had a caution, and then we had another caution per stage. So I took tires and stuff like that. So I wasn't at too much of a tire deficit there. And then surprisingly, we had like 2 more cautions after the stage 2, and then it went green the rest of the way. So it probably worked out because we had a caution to stack it up. I feel like my tires were getting a little worse for wear. So
Yeah, we
um,
had 11 cautions for 30 laps. And it seemed like we were doing like 10 lap stints and then a caution.
for a while, we
10
were
lap
for sure.
caution. And then we went 60 some odd laps green, which any of the truck series guys that listen, I applaud. That was, I mean, it wasn't the most beautiful race I'd ever seen, especially the caution that we had up front. But I mean, it was significantly better than what we've been experienced lately. So kudos to everybody that took part in that race, and good job learning, good job staying off of the wall and off of each other and managing throttles for the most part. It was, I think that was week to week the biggest leap in improvement that I've seen thus far this season.
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, only 11 cautions in 2 of those for stages, so 9 cautions, and a lot of them were, kind of some self spins and stuff. And um,
Mm-hmm.
did we all agree there wasn't any penalties this week, right? So
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
And
everybody, we made some mistakes and things. I think we all had mistakes, but nobody was running through everybody. Everybody was hitting their brakes. Nobody changed lanes, which I don't think we've had a lane change. Andre last week,
non,
but we've had very
yeah,
few in the past few weeks. So, um,
it's definitely gotten tightened up and
yeah,
a lot
much
cleaner.
better. So much better.
Absolutely.
What
It's
did,
half the amount of cautions that we had at fairgrounds, and we were all kind of wagering the over under of fairgrounds for the Bristol race. Are we going to get more than 22 this time? But
yeah.
half was never a thought.
Now with,
So very good.
so, so what happened to Travis George there? Because I really think he probably should have won. And
Whew.
I felt like he
Yeah,
had better pace than anybody, even though Bryce Tucker ended up bringing it home. But what did he? It looked like he was
jump
like
the
in
restart.
front of the pace car when it went in. I don't know why he's riding so close to that pace car when it goes in. It's almost like he may have passed it.
That's exactly what happened.
Was
And
it?
to qualified him as passing the pace car, and that's what gave him the black flag. And he was pretty beating himself up there for a little while on the
Yeah.
team comms of
Right.
can't
Yeah.
believe I just did that, and literally just kind of handed off to whoever wanted to pick it up from there. And I think that ended up putting him
Like
three
three.
laps down.
Yeah, probably. I'm pretty sure if you have to pit, you're going at least 3 down. And then by
That
that
is,
time, every time there's a wreck, someone's going a lap down. So it's like you were never
mm-hmm,
getting your laps back if you were
stacking
multiple
him up in
down.
front of him. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that was tough for him, and I don't know what I did. So I think I was seventh in stage two, and I was running either sixth or seventh, and my fuel gauge just dropped. Like it was telling me like 50 some odd laps to go. It's like cool, I'm gonna make it, and then it was like 28 laps to go. So hold on. So I'm not sure what happened. If I when I came in and just took rights, if I accidentally clicked something and I didn't get more fuel, or if I decreased the amount. I don't know what I did, but I wasn't gonna make it. So that part sucked.
Where were you running at the time that happened?
I think I was sixth or seventh at the
So,
time.
so you think you would have finished right around there?
Yeah, I wasn't. I think it was. Was it? No, it wasn't Delph. It was Corey Moore. Moore was just behind me, and we were, just logging laps. He wasn't being aggressive trying to get around me. I wasn't trying to hold him up. We were just keeping pace, just clicking him off. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, where'd all those cautions go? I could,
Right?
I could,
I
I
know.
could really
Yeah.
use one of those right about now.
Yeah, man, they just stopped. But I mean, you got
Yeah,
15th, and I guess did you get stage points? Because I didn't do very well on stage points myself. So
yeah, I got. Would have been 3 points. I was seventh in stage two, so I was somewhat of a silver lining for me if you want to look at it from the race. I don't know how you felt about your qualifying effort in that one. I mean, you started up front. You were in sixth. I
yeah,
started 15th, which is where I finished at. I was just so worried about spinning on cold tires for qualifying that I babied it way too much.
yeah,
By the time I
yeah.
realized I was babying it, it was too late.
Yeah, I put down the first one. I try to get a little speed on the first one, but still take it easy to warm up the tires. And I put down an okay lap. Probably would have qualified me like 20th if something happened, but it's better than nothing. Then I just pushed it a little bit on the second lap and just I think I got loose coming out of 4 a little bit, getting on it a little bit much. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I was okay with 6 because I don't have a whole lot of experience on Bristol, so and I probably
Gotcha.
didn't deserve. I've said it a few times. I know I wasn't a fourth place truck. this week, probably more like 8th or 9th or 10th or something like that on all the
Right.
speed. But it looks like at the end I was able to make a couple passes there at the end from people, but maybe just being a little bit easier on my tires, and we had a green flag run. So um, as far as pure speed, I know I didn't have the fourth best time or anything like that. So I was happy to get away with fourth there. Like I said, I didn't do very well on stages, but
Now, did you guys get a lot of practice time in that previous week?
no, I didn't get. I don't do that much practice anymore, really, even though I
I'm
should.
sure. I'm so good. I don't need practice.
No, that's why I haven't
Been
gotten
hanging out with
stage
Bryce too
points
much.
lately. No, I don't have time between this league and doing all that, and then still trying to race each three of these. That's about all I can put in on it.
I hear
So
you.
then with Call of Duty coming back with their old map, it eats up a lot of time too. So, but
Yeah. I always for us, man, that was probably one of the best weeks of practices we had as a team as a whole. Like it was very informative. We all learned a lot. And it was great. We were all doing really well, and then just calamity happened. You know, Travis ends up passing the pace car, jumping the restart, sends him to the back. The owner of the league takes out Chris. Uh, I run out of gas. It was just
uh,
bang, bang,
Camberg
bang.
ran out of tires.
Yeah, I mean,
He
Patrick
was
was
he was
was our
fast. He
saving
was
grace.
real fast, but he just
And,
yeah
and
he just
yeah,
ate
and what
them
was
tires
crazy
up.
was like that whole race or that whole last stint where we went 60 laps or so, he rolled the bottom like the entire time. And all of our laps and practices, he was running the highest line out of all of us. So I don't know, maybe it just felt right to him that night, but I don't remember seeing Patrick practice the bottom at all. And then just took off with it. So I
I
don't, maybe it was
I
the
think
tire
when
wear
his
that he wasn't expecting.
yeah I think his tires started wearing out, and I think he transitioned to the bottom because I was able to roll the bottom and save a lot of tires that way.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
and
running
unfortunately,
that
he's
high
on that.
line, yeah, running that high line, the first handful of laps for sure, you were fast on that high line, but you know, but you couldn't really
Yeah.
see it play out because we were only getting like 10 lap stints at the first half of the race.
Right.
But yeah, we had Bryce Tucker at the win, and Bobby Grady had his best finish there, started 10th and finished P2. That's good for him. And Patrick Camber in third, and
Mm-hmm.
I was in fourth,
And
and my fellow teammate got fifth there. We had
yeah, I was mad about that one because Bloodworth ended up jumping me in the standings.
oh, did he? All
Yeah,
right.
I don't like that.
Meacham in six, Dayhoff. That was a real good performance with him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then Danny Gross eighth, and Matthew Chase had a good finish as well with ninth, and then Kyle Rogers rounded out top 10. We'll go ahead and go 11th just because that's my other teammate there, P11, old Corey Moore. So might as well go ahead and
Oh,
extra one. And I do want to point out those three guys with a 0X, and that would be Bryce Tucker, Brandon Dayoff, and who else was it? Oh, you. That's right.
that's it.
Mike
I
Tuffle.
think it's Kufel, but I'm used to Kufel. But yeah, no, I was. It was funny because right before the race, Pritch had said, if anybody gets a 0X in this race, we're kicking them out of the league because they're cheating. We didn't know we were about to go into. So as soon as I finished race, I was like, well, guess that's it for me, guys. Because we were actually on the comms with Patrick when he was leading with like 5 to go. Like, hey, just so you know, man, if you win this race, you can't come back next season. Just letting you know. And he's like, I'm just trying to hold on to the truck right now. So me too, because I got a 0X. But my tires were great. I actually ended up passing Tucker right at the line towards the end because I was on all fresh tires. I was just
Oh,
trying to go.
you
I
were
thought we still
zooming
had.
because yeah, I'd seen you come up on me, and I was like, oh yeah, he must got some freshies. So I just got out your way.
Yeah, I didn't like. I was like, all right, so 3 laps to go. I was like, white flag. Right as I'm coming up on Tucker, I was like, oh, I'm 3 laps down. There's there's no more laps to go. Okay.
If only, if only. So what do we got for the trucks next week? Oh, we got Watkins Glen.
Got the Glen, baby. How about that one, man? You got any seat time in the truck yet?
No, I don't need seat time at the Glen.
No?
No, No, yeah. I actually probably put down 10 or 15 laps so far, just getting a little familiar with it again. And this is a early morning race, so
Yeah,
um,
we got
s-
7:30.
yeah, something like that. So um,
Yeah,
yeah, it'll be nice and cool, and we should see some real good lap times. Um, as always, I love the flying stages. I think it brings
hmm
out a whole bunch of strategy, and the person. Not always do you have to be the fastest. You can gain a lot of positions just by making less mistakes than the other person. So
I think that's gonna be key because I'm the slowest of my four teammates or three additional teammates by a little, almost a second or so now that I've learned a little bit more. But that's what I'm thinking. It's like I can't push it. I'm not a great road course racer. I'm not even a good road course racer. But I think if I can just stay on the track, that's gonna be key and make minimal mistakes. Just finish. That's I think the goal is stay on track, finish.
for
Especially
sure.
at this stage, because we got four races to go. Is that
What
correct?
are we, 3 in? So we should have 5 if it's including Watkins Glen. We should have
Schedule
4
wise.
after this, I believe. So we
Yeah,
got
that's
yeah, so we
that's what I'm
got
thinking. Yeah.
we got what?
This one and four.
Chicagoland,
Yep.
Richmond.
Atlanta, baby.
Oh, and then New Atlanta and then Homestead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'd like to put a vote out there that instead of those four like that, we just run Atlanta, Talladega, and then finish out the season. Everybody on board with that? Okay, cool.
I've only been on New Atlanta once. Then
Oh man, I love that track. Super smooth.
I like Old
Super
Atlanta
smooth.
better,
Don't watch your mouth.
but
That
it's
track is
fine.
rough.
New Atlanta's fine, but I haven't been on it at night either. We broadcasted the one on night in Xfinity. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I haven't been on it at night, so this one should be a night race because I know they came out with the lights will actually turn on now because the switch kept not working. I guess over the past year, you
They
couldn't
had to pay all
run.
that money to repave it. They couldn't keep the power on and new track, so you gotta pick one.
It was crazy because they always had the light poles. Um, they just never, I
Yeah.
guess, had the electricity ran.
Somebody stole the copper. But yeah,
So
no, I'm excited for the Glen. Who want to go ahead since it's just you and I? Who you think's gonna pull off the Glen in the trucks?
I like Wilder because I mean, he's more of a road course guy.
Yeah.
But there's always this guy. Danny Gross. I know is a guy that just came in. He's pretty good. You have Tucker, that's always been proven to be a road course guy. Travis George has
Mhm.
done well on the road courses. Bobby Grady does okay on road courses. I mean, I should be up there. KT, if he makes it, I know he likes road courses as well. So I think because Watkins Glen is just kind of so fast, I don't think it's not like any of those other road courses. You can really shave off a lot of time here and there. It's just Watkins Glen is so fast. I think a lot of times are going to be really close together.
Mhm.
So I think you're going to have like 8 or 10 guys that are just like fairly close. I'm sure somebody will eventually start to pull away, and you'll have some gaps. But
Right. Yeah.
I think even if the leader makes a little mistake, that they can get past. Me and Tucker are like Kansas Road. If one of us made a mistake, I mean,
Right.
we
The
we
other
were
one's right
probably
there.
okay. Yeah, me and him were right there, but other than that, we were okay. I just don't think you're going to see a lot of people running away with this one. But
Yeah, because I think at Kansas, I think Wilder was third, and he was like
like
48
40,
seconds
yeah,
back.
yeah. So
Yeah, I think
so
this.
yeah, I don't think it's going to be anything like that. Other than Wilder
Mm,
had a huge lead at Charlotte. Okay, you
yep.
know, granted that was a field strategy, but still, yeah,
True.
I just don't think that's going to be. I don't think anybody's just going to run away with it. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are within. Heck, by the end of the race, if nothing happens, you could have the top 10 be just within 20 seconds of the leader.
True. Yeah. Should be a good one, man. I'm looking forward to it. Another time that I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. So, but I'm excited, and it's also our last road course of the year. And this is in the top 5 bucket list tracks for me to visit at some point in my life. I've always loved this track. And the only thing that kills me is I was so good at Watkins Glen on Heat 5, and iRacing is nothing like Heat 5, and I suck at this track. I think it took me like 3 days when I first got on iRacing. It was one of the first tracks I ever got onto. It almost took me 3 days to run like 2 laps back to back without spinning out and totaling the track, which is 100% different, and it's struggling for me to try to unlearn those habits from that one, get into the groove of this. And but I'm looking forward to it, and I think the flying cautions are going to add that element of strategy when it comes to fuel and tires and what you're going to do. And I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of different strategies you can do with tires. You can just take by the time it takes you to fuel, you can just throw rights on or lefts or something in fuel. You could just fuel. You can take tires. There's going to be a bunch of strategies you can do, and I think we can get about 13 laps on a tank, and we have what 40? How many laps do we have?
43 with stages at 11 and 22.
Yeah, so I think you're going to have to pit twice, and you're probably going to have to come back in for a splash at some point.
I thought I was doing the math. I don't remember looking on the calculator, but I think we're going to be like 17ish or so laps
No,
on a four.
no, because it's 45%, which should be
Oh,
about
you dropped it down to 45?
yeah, but that was last week. So it should be about 13 and a half, is I believe what it is. Because the stage is like 11, right?
Correct, 11 and 22.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we went about 13 and a half. So you fill up at 13, you'll get to 26, and you'll get to 39. So you'll probably have to come in for a splash unless somebody wants to chance it, but I don't know if you can save on this track like that.
Yeah, it's a lot to save on, especially with those elevation changes. It's a little bit easier to do that at the Roval. The
Yeah.
Glen's
Oh yeah, for sure.
different.
There's a lot more slowing down points and lower speeds. I don't even know where you get to your slowest speed. Maybe in corner one, I guess.
I think that's correct.
Uh,
Yeah, because I can carry around 100 or so in the inner loop and just right around there, if not a little bit less in the outer loop. Yeah, no, I think it should be good, man. I'm looking forward to that. But tonight got the cups going on at Dover. I know the session's about to open up.
yeah. Yep. Yep. That's a good, quick little broadcast. That'll work.
Yeah, I appreciate anybody for tuning in. Sean, thanks for doing everything behind the scenes as well and getting it so the people can hear my beautiful voice and see my pretty face. So I thank you for that, for sharing it with the people. But for myself and for Sean and the entire HVRL league, thank y'all.
See y'all next week.